En el vasto paisaje de la tecnología, la inteligencia artificial emerge como una fuerza imparable, transformando cada aspecto de nuestras vidas a un ritmo vertiginoso. Hoy, les invito a adentrarse en un mundo donde los límites entre la ciencia y la ficción se desdibujan, donde el ingenio humano y la capacidad de las máquinas convergen en un punto de inflexión que redefine nuestro entendimiento de la innovación. Imaginen un futuro donde el software no solo es creado por mentes humanas, sino también por una inteligencia artificial capaz de aprender, adaptarse y evolucionar por sí misma. Este es el viaje que emprendemos hoy, guiados por la fascinante historia de el pionero ingeniero de software de IA, Autónomo. Bienvenidos a un mundo donde el futuro ya está aquí. Imaginen un momento en la historia donde la línea entre la creación humana y la inteligencia artificial se desvanece por completo. Este es el momento en el que Devon, el primer ingeniero de software de inteligencia artificial autónomo, hace su entrada triunfal en el escenario tecnológico. Concebido en los laboratorios pioneros de Cognition Labs, Devon es más que una simple creación de códigos y algoritmos. Este es el resultado de décadas de investigación, experimentación y audacia científica. Devon representa el pináculo de la ingeniería en software, combinando la maestría técnica con la capacidad de aprender y evolucionar de manera autónoma. Su llegada no pasó desapercibida. La comunidad científica y tecnológica quedó asombrada por las implicaciones de esta nueva forma de inteligencia artificial. ¿Qué significa realmente que una máquina pudiera diseñar, desarrollar y mejorar el software de manera autónoma? ¿Hasta dónde podría llegar Devon en términos de creatividad, eficiencia y capacidad de innovación? Imagina a Devon como el atleta olímpico de la inteligencia artificial, superando récords y desafiando lo que creíamos posible en el mundo del desarrollo de software. El rendimiento y las capacidades de Devon son simplemente asombrosos. Su velocidad para procesar información, analizar datos y generar soluciones es inigualable. Lo que llevaría meses o incluso años a un equipo de ingenieros humanos, Devon puede hacerlo en cuestión de horas, si no minutos. Pero lo más sorprendente no es solo su velocidad, sino también su precisión y creatividad. Devon no es solo capaz de resolver problemas de manera eficiente, sino que también puede encontrar soluciones innovadoras que ningún humano habría imaginado. Además, su capacidad para aprender y adaptarse es verdaderamente sobresaliente. A medida que interactúa con más datos y enfrenta nuevos desafíos, Devon se vuelve cada vez más inteligente y sofisticado. Es como tener un equipo de desarrollo de software que mejora constantemente sin necesidad de entrenamiento adicional ni supervisión humana. Las demostraciones de Devon en acción son simplemente impresionantes. Con una simple solicitud, Devon puede comenzar a diseñar un nuevo sistema de software desde cero, teniendo en cuenta los requisitos específicos y restricciones técnicas. En cuestión de minutos, muestra prototipos funcionales que normalmente llevarían semanas o meses para que un equipo humano los desarrolle. Pero las demostraciones van más allá de la creación inicial. Devon puede realizar pruebas exhaustivas, identificar y corregir errores en tiempo real y optimizar el rendimiento del software de una manera que desafía toda lógica convencional. Es como si estuviera viendo un virtuoso del software que realiza una sinfonía compleja con una precisión y gracia incomparables. Sin más dilación, veamos de lo que es capaz Devon y cómo los miembros de Cognition Labs lo ponen a prueba.
So I asked Devon to implement it for me. Devon started by creating a new React application using the shell, and then it started writing some code through its editor. After that, it deployed the app through Netlify. Let's check it out. That seems nice, but there's a lot more features which I want to add. So let's ask Devon to do this one at a time. I want the words Devon to be written at the initialization screen instead of it being random. Then I want the word to be slightly bigger and the frame rate to be faster. I also want him to fix a bug where the screen gets freezed after 3 seconds. Let's see the progress Devon has made so far. You can see the diff, and the last diff shows that Devon just fixed the bug where the screen gets frozen after 3 seconds. This seems reasonable to me, so let's move on. Next, I want Devon to increase the frame rate after 10 seconds, and also to make the website responsive to different window sizes. I also wanted to make it interactive so that when I click my mouse somewhere, it should spawn a new block. Let's check out what Devon has made so far. It started with Devon, which is what we asked for. And when I click something, it creates a new block as well. That's fun. Let's play around with it. Well, that was my evening.
I'm going to show you an AI training an AI. So here we're going to take the QLoRa repo, which is a fine-tuning method for quantizing large language models. We're going to feed this repo to our agent, Devin, and all we have to ask Devin is to fine-tune a 7B llama model. Devin clones the repo, figures out how to run it using the README, sets up all of the requirements using pip, looks through all the scripts, and is able to start running the training job. There are a few hiccups where Devin runs into some CUDA issues, which is to be expected with open source repos, but it's not a problem. Devin looks at the NVIDIA environment and figures out how to reinstall the packages to make it work. After a few more runs, figure out the correct model names, Devin successfully gets the training run working. Here we see training proceeding smoothly, loss is going down, and after a few steps, looks pretty good. I tell Devin to wait as the training job runs. After about an hour, I come back, ask Devin, hey, how's the training going? Devin helps me look. A few hundred steps are done now, and everything is still proceeding smoothly. Looks great. Thanks, Devin, for helping me set up my training run.
Alden, one of the developers here at Cognition AI, we were playing around with whether or not Devin could start a side hustle on Upwork. So here's actual real job from Upwork, where the client wants to set up this computer vision model, which actually looks quite interesting. It seems very difficult to set up. I'm not sure how I would start doing this, but you give the task to Devin and ask Devin to figure it out, and things just kick off. Devin immediately goes ahead, and you can see it sort of starts setting up the repo. It actually runs into some issues here with the versioning. So if you watch how Devin deals with it, Devin's actually updating the code to make these things work. He continues with this, loading and importing packages. You can see that actually downloads images from the internet to run through the model. But you can see here that there are actually some issues that come across. However, Devin knows how to handle these things. Devin kind of pushes through, and if you look closely, Devin's actually doing print line debugging here, where Devin is adding these statements to track where the data flows. And Devin continues to do this until Devin understands how everything's working, and actually then updates the code with the fixes after removing print line statements. Devin continues this pattern of fixing code and running it again until it runs the image model across all of these rows across the world. And we can ask for a report from Devin. At which point, Devin sends over some sample images of roads with damage marked out, and a nice TXT file explaining Devin's work and the different kinds of outputs of the model. Good job, Devin.
I'm Neil, and I wanted to show you an example of Devin, our AI software engineer, helping me fix a bug. So I've been using this repo called SymPy. SymPy is an algebra system written in Python. And I noticed this issue where when you take the log of a fraction, you get zoo, which is a type of infinity. So that's definitely wrong, but instead of trying to figure this out myself, I just asked Devin to take a look. Devin immediately jumps in, sets up the repo, and is able to reproduce that same zoo output. Devin then figures out the right part of the code and adds print statements in order to figure out what the cause of this issue is. And we can see here that the cause is that integer division leads to a 0, and then we take the log of 0. So based on that, Devin's able to fix the issue in the code by replacing that integer division with true division, and then cleans up the debug output and verifies that the result is what we want. And then Devin even runs the test in the repo as well to make sure nothing else is broken. So that was great. Saved me a ton of time. So
Tony, an engineer at Cognition. I helped build Devin, and now Devin helps me too. Today at work, I wanted to run a bunch of commands at once and be able to track their status on one screen. I found an open source tool named mprox to do this. Here it is right here. Looks like it all finished, but the status is way too vague. I don't know which ones failed. They all just say down. I really want to improve the UX here, But I'm not familiar with the code at all, so I had Devin, my AI software engineer, help me. Looks like this person right here had the same issue. So all I gave Devin was the link to the issue and asked Devin to fix it. You can see me make the request right here on the left. Let's see what Devin did. On the right, we can track Devin's work and watch Devin jump from tool to tool. First, Devin clones the repository using the shell, then reads the README in an editor to learn how to set up the code, then goes back to the shell to install the required dependencies. Devin also opens up a web browser to take a look at the issue. Now, Devin starts coding. At some point, Devin even opens up some Rust documentation to debug a compiler error. Finally, Devin finishes the task and reports a summary of the changes that were made. Let's see if the changes worked. I have Devin's code right here. Looks like it worked. The third command succeeded. I can even see the status codes. Here's all the code that Devin wrote for this change.
Como han podido ver, el impacto potencial de Devin en la industria de la ingeniería de software es enorme y multifacético, desde acelerar el desarrollo y mejorar la calidad de software hasta democratizar el proceso de desarrollo. Devin está preparado para redefinir fundamentalmente la forma en que se construyen las aplicaciones informáticas en el siglo XXI. ¿Te gustaría ser parte de esta revolución tecnológica? Suscríbete ahora para mantenerte al tanto de las últimas actualizaciones, descubrimientos y aplicaciones prácticas, porque se anticipa un año lleno de interesantes innovaciones y rápidos avances en el campo de la IA. La revolución ha comenzado y queremos que seas parte de ella.